Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's episode, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into our Glass Plus system. As I mentioned, probably now, it's probably a year since I did that initial launch video. There's been obviously huge feedback for this product, fantastic. And I'm going to take the opportunity now to kind of take it one step further, kind of talk about it. So obviously, like I mentioned last year, the plus sign on the end of any product, so currently on the Glass Plus, indicates that it's not a glass cleaner. So obviously YumGlass is our glass cleaner, but the plus indicates that it has some sort of protective capability behind it. Now, this product can scare a lot of people off. It comes in a little bottle. People think, oh my God, it's a glass coating. I have to be the world's best detailer, and I've got to have a NASA Space Center to apply this. You can apply this outside, inside, it doesn't really matter. Now, like I mentioned on a few videos ago, I did the Glass Plus test on the windscreen. Again, the car was unprepped, obviously it was clean, but the glass wasn't clayed, it definitely wasn't polished, it was just normal glass. I put it on there and we're getting fantastic results. Now, the reason I did it that way is because I wanted to see just how long it lasts on unprotected glass. We're heading into winter, what better way to try it? Now, of course, I would recommend, look, clear the glass. If it needs polishing, obviously it's a very hard task, polish it, but usually just clay it, and that's the basic standard. Now, the rear windows have actually been uncoated for a reason, again, for the purpose of this video. So I'm just gonna go through the application of this. Again, rain's coming in a couple of days' time, and a lot of it, I'm gonna be driving this quite a lot, so I'm kind of gonna seal up the whole kind of back end glass because a lot of the stuff gets kind of uplifted. Now, as a creature of habit, what I always like to do is, as a precaution, again, the car's being cleaned. However, I want to put a little bit of, I'll tell you exactly, 99.9%, and that's the minimum, of pure alcohol. So if you're ever having a bad night, take a smell of this and it'll knock you for six. So as a creature of habit, I just like to, as you can see, just put it on, give it a rub, and obviously the extra dwell time, if there is anything, if I have applied drying it accidentally or the washing step hasn't completely kind of removed everything, which obviously it will never do. This step, especially with me actually leaving it to dwell, because I'm not yet wiping it off. And this kind of gives it a bit of a clean. What I also like to do is, if you can do this, I take this window wiper and I just, well, I'm about to show you exactly why I do this. Look at that. So hopefully I haven't ruined this. So yeah, I just like to do this, and also I'm going to actually coat the rubberized part of this wiper on purpose because it's just even more slicker and less kind of path of resistance, as I always say. Now, just to be super quick with it, there's a bit of our YumGlass, because alcohol, if left untreated, can actually leave unsightly streak marks. So I'm just going to quickly wipe this over just to make sure I haven't got any heavy streaking. Boom, easy. Now I can feel a lot of stickiness on this. Now, let's put my moonshine away. Now this setting is literally my dream garage, well, version 2. It's never going to be completed because I'm going to be always chasing the highest levels. But so far, we're almost completed it. I've got some stuff over there, which in fact, I know you probably can't see it, or if you can, awesome. But we've got some stuff there, that's actually ready to be kind of built. But this is my dream, sitting in here, talking what I feel kind of most passionate about, with one of our more cuter, smaller cars, and just trying to teach you guys. Amazing. So, Glass Plus, as I said, it's a polymer that we're trying to cross-link across with various of the products. You know, I've tried to go down the whole ceramic shampoo line. I made the most expensive at cost price shampoo that probably has ever existed. The reason it didn't go into production, not because of price, because I would have charged accordingly for it, but because I just didn't like it. There was literally no foam, like zero. It looked like I was actually washing my car with the alcohol, like you've just seen. It's just leaving water trails behind it. Protection, actually, it was okay, but it wasn't as impressive as I thought it might be. And I thought, nah. So the trial with the Wash Plus has failed. Detailer Plus, stuff like that, is still in kind of testing. I may shoot a video on this on the membership platform, kind of talking more deeply about it. But so far, this has been the most stable product that we've kind of managed to nail down, but also kind of have it steady and always accurate for production. Now, please don't let this completely scare you, because as you're about to see, it's super simple. So I just like to flip it like this. Don't do it the other way around, because you're going to get a ton of product, right? So always start like this, end like this. Now, what I found, and I've done this testing many times. Now, if you don't believe me, go and do the test yourself. I would apply this. Obviously, I wouldn't leave it outside, because at the end of the day, you would never do that with any other product, so don't do it with this. But I actually applied it to this windscreen. Well, not this windscreen, but onto this car. And I left it overnight without actually wiping it off. Now, the true testament to this product is when I came in the morning, and you're about to see what I'm about to do again, it actually came off just as easily as it did with if I was going to leave it like 5 to 10 minutes, which is really nice and actually really impressive. There was no solvent pop on it, which is very interesting. And what I mean by the solvent pop, if you're wondering, is or double ghosting. It's normally a term used in waxes, but have you ever, say, waxed the car? Imagine this is wax, you can wipe it off maybe as soon as an hour to maybe a day later. You come back to it, especially in darker vehicles, and you look and you think, well, I can see where I've been applying it, you know, with the lines. Sometimes it's actually even worse. Some waxes are really bad for this. Now, that's what I call solvent pop, and you would have to re-wipe it, and sometimes the only way to fix it is to literally just wash the car again, which is a bit of a shame if your car is like freshly cleaned. So there was no solvent pop on this whatsoever, and the fact that it wiped off like a hot knife through butter effect was even better. Now, I like doing it on the glass in circles only because I feel like I massage the product kind of much better into the glass. Look, you can go into lines, fine. In fact, look like that. I do it sometimes in lines, just spread it. And then I just sometimes do it in swirly action. But yeah, that's applied, and you can literally go as deep as you want with it. As I said, I am going to apply this to the rubberized part, but I have never applied it via this applicator. Normally I do it through a towel, and I think the towel is much better for it. But you'll never know unless you try. I need to put a bit more product on. Basically trying to get into all the grooves. If you are going to do this trick, do it with a towel, much better. But like I said, you don't know if it's going to work. In fact, I'm going to show you with a towel. The reason I say a towel is because you can actually contour the actual microfiber right around the blade, and in one simple swipe, bang, coated. In fact, while I'm here, I'm going to remove it, so don't forget, the last thing you want to do is have this product smearing all over the windscreen. There you go, the rubber feels smooth. So don't be scared. I've left this on overnight, hot and cold days. I mean the ambient temperature within the premises. Now, do I recommend it? Please don't. This is for my own testing, but I'm actually putting it out there that, you know, if you don't wipe this off in 7 minutes, 43 seconds, doesn't mean that your glass is going to shatter and you need a chisel to take it off. So you have got a bit of time to play with it. So if you have sealed it and an emergency happened and you have to jump out at 10, 15 minutes, you can come back and it'll be just as easy. Now the biggest factor that I've inbuilt to this, and I've chased it more than anything else, what you are going to see is the fact that this product is very aggressive on the water behavior side. So as soon as water hits it, bang, it's going to start aggressively beating it up. And if you're doing speed, it's going to go obviously over your windscreen, or in this case, it's going to go down the back screen. Now, the biggest thing I chased was not the hydrophobics, because hydrophobics are fairly easy to do. The more you increase the hydrophobics, usually, not always, but in this case, it could be an absolute pain to work with, and you need IPAs and all that sort of stuff to actually like wipe it off. So in this case, you don't need to do that. However, the biggest thing for me was the way it dies. Now, I know that sounds really backwards to you, but in my case, it makes total sense. Because the last thing I want to happen is one day you wash the car and it's fantastic. The next day or the next week, it's just completely dead on you. So the way this dies on you is actually very nice. Sounds really weird, but trust me, trust the process of my thinking. You can actually see the product degrade slowly. So like I said, today's what? Thursday. You're gonna wash it again on, say, Monday, Tuesday, and you've got no protection left. That's if it's on its last legs, of course. This lasts a lot longer than that. Now with this, over the months, what you're gonna start seeing, especially on the front, because you've got the abrasion of the wipers, is you're gonna see an actual diminishing return in terms of sheeting, beading, obviously the whole runoff speed off the windscreen. So at some point you will know, right, after this wash, I need to top it up, or I need to use more drying air on the glass, etc., etc. Now, as I'm wiping this off, you're going to see exactly how easy this is. So again, utility towels, glass cleaner and Prezzo. What I like to do is I go a little bit heavier than if I was just cleaning glass. And I just want the body of raw materials in the glass plus to break this down quicker. But still, I used what, 6, 7 sprays? And you just need to continue around it as if you're just cleaning basic glass. There's no trick to this. Now, you can wipe this off naturally. I just prefer it with a bit of glass cleaner. It just actually breaks the bond. Now, like I said on one of my previous videos about the whole cross-linking, this is a similar thing. Glass is very porous. What you want it to do is you want to cover or transform the peaks and troughs into as much of a flat surface under a microscope. I know you'll never see it, but trust me, it's there. And what you want to do is you want to give any dirt, water, the least path of resistance. The more it's stickier and the more it's unprotected, obviously, I don't need to kind of teach you how to suck eggs, guys, it's gonna stick. Bang. So that's the glass done. And it's as easy as that. You just check over if there is anything, obviously, either continue with a dry towel or just apply maybe a spray or two to a glass cleaner, of your glass cleaner to your utility towels, and just give it a wipe like this, and it's done. Now, I've developed a bit of a trick over my just personal testing. I've been doing this behind closed doors, and obviously now I can kind of sort of reveal it because I can kind of see the technical data behind it. So when you coat glass, again, I'm going to touch it because I'm going to wipe it again anyway. It feels smooth, but still not as slick and as smooth as, you know, is humanly possible. Now, for maintenance purposes, this was discovered through maintenance, is when I'm using the detail spray, so this wonderful creation of ours, when I'm using this as a drying aid all over the car, we started noticing that as soon as we put drying aid onto the windows, especially on the front, even when this is on the windscreen, when it's just, as I said, it dyes very nicely. So when it's, you know, you could see the beads seem slightly bigger, the sheeting may take just a little bit longer, but still I know it maybe it's got 4, maybe 6 weeks in it before it's time for a reapplication. So obviously we wash cars weekly. Now the drying aid method on the glass brings back so much more slickness. Again, slickness, less path of resistance, the water goes down quicker. It's an unbelievable process. Now, again, you just imagine you've coated your glass, so one spray on there, one spray on here. What I like to do is always, I just wipe it over with a detail spray. Obviously, and then just look, there's just no sound. There's just a night and day difference in this. Now, you can do this upon application and upon maintenance washing. So imagine this is your drying towel of choice. Obviously it's not because the car's dry, but I would just spray it all over the glass, dry the car's normal, obviously 2-towel method, wipe on, wipe off, all that type of good stuff. Now this will prolong the Glass Plus up to a level that is, you know, almost indefinite. Obviously, eventually, all you will have on is obviously the detail spray, because the Glass Plus would have died either through heavy wiper use or just obviously time frame wise. But still, it is a fantastic maintenance product, or a fantastic maintenance product. And we use this on paint. Obviously, it's designed for paint, so if you've got a coat of wax, a coat of YumCeramic, or any other product from any other different brand, but if you say, like our detail spray more than anything else, you can use this on pretty much everything. Coatings, paste waxes, liquid waxes, obviously glass sealants, glass coatings, if you're into the whole coating game, then that's fantastic. So that's the Glass Plus. Showed you another kind of live view, this time on a different angle of the car. There's no point showing you in the windscreen because it will be quite hard to see if there's any streaking or anything like that. But on tinted glass, by the way, the tint on this has been done by Stevie Wonder, so I need to rip it off, but my only fear is the whole heating strips. It's going to be difficult, but we'll try, or I would rather lose the heating strips and just have professionally tinted glass. But yeah, whoever has done this has left marks, and obviously the previous owner may have missed the car when it was wet, so there's a few water spots which we will deal with when the paint correction series comes on this. But anyway, that's the Glass Plus. Super easy to use. Prep wise, again, clay minimum. Just use the clay, it'll take you 20 seconds. In fact, you can even use the glass cleaner as a clay lubricant, so that way you're potentially not adding anything back into the glass right before you put a protective product on. But if you do decide to use something like this, which again we recommend on paint, go back over it with something heavy. So this is 100% pretty much liquid alcohol solution, and this will remove everything back to like bare paint on bare glass. But apart from that, guys, hope you've enjoyed it. Again, live demos, live chat with Nick in his I can sleep here, literally. If I could get a bed legally, obviously this is a commercial premises, so I can't sleep here, but if I could get a bed there, I would literally sleep in this unit and look at all the cars. But that's me being weird. But I'm sure a few of the guys watching this probably don't think it's as weird as some of maybe the females do. But hands-on's always the best. Don't worry about it. It's super simple, and again, super hydrophobic, which again, you're going into winter, rainy months, salt, frost, stuff like that. In fact, talking of frost, it actually helps a little bit to reduce frosting on the glass. It's not as thick, and sometimes we go out to our cars in the morning, if they're not garaged that day, and sometimes, again, it depends how cold it gets during the night, but if it's a light frost, the window wipers just remove it super quick. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it as always, guys, and I will see you as always next week on the next one. Take care.